Hi, morning everyone. Today, Mahen and I are here at a drive to celebrate 35 years of the Mazda Miata, also known as the MX-5, and there were a few other names for it, I believe, as well. With me is Mr. David Todd. He needs no introduction because he's an absolute unit in the world of motoring in Sri Lanka, most well known for minis, but he's also a Miata MX-5 enthusiast. So, David, what drew you to the Miata?
Well, I drove one some time back,
Okay.
and it was just one fantastic car to drive. Difficult to describe, but I would say, as a lot of people say, or the general saying goes, it's the baby Ferrari, or the poor man's Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
But its handling is fantastic, and it's one lovely car. You get talking about you go into classics. I'm a classic lover,
Oh, yes.
but here's something that we have. Two different generations of classics put into one.
Oh, how so?
Right? Handling is fantastic. You have your AC, you have your power steering, you have all your feature comforts. But it's all just drawn into one, and it's fantastic. If you have driven one, you will know what it is.
We haven't yet, so that's another item on our bucket list.
And not just driving it around all these roads. If you drive it on a windy road, it's out of this world.
That is what I have heard. I mean, a lot of people, even in overseas, say that the Mazda MX-5 is the best way to learn techniques of advanced driving to become a good racing driver. I mean, in the UK, I believe they're extremely popular at amateur events.
I saw some videos and pictures of today's celebration in UK, and there must be about 300 or 400 cars there.
Wow. Wow.
They've been getting ready from yesterday.
Wow.
So we got about 25 cars here, and I think we'll have about 15 or 20 cars today. But I think we're trying to get somewhere, but nowhere near some of the other countries.
Well, fair enough. I suppose we don't have that much of a population of the cars either in Sri Lanka. But it's really fantastic to see that there are 25 plus Miatas in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And as we're looking at the weather here, like you told me this morning when I messaged you, rain or shine, we proceed. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great testament to the Miata's practicality, as you mentioned. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people might say it's a canvas top. How are you going to cope in the rain? Well, why don't you answer that question for us, David?
It's pretty waterproof, very waterproof, I would say. It's no problem whatsoever. I have done a lot of running in this in the rain. Not that I want to take it out in the rain, but I got caught in the rain. I've been compelled to run.
So I guess, I mean, there you are. It's a very practical and it's a classic now.
The only negative aspect of it is that it has two seats. But then what do you want in a sports car?
And also the question is, do you consider that a negative aspect in some lights?
No, well, here in Sri Lanka, you get this attitude, oh, it's only a two-seater. But what more do you want from a sports car?
That is very true. That is very true. And sometimes I guess it's a pleasure best savored alone, right? Or at most with a like-minded individual in the passenger seat.
As I say, it's good enough for your wife or your girlfriend.
Yeah, but not both.
Good one. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for being here today.
Our
On
pleasure.
behalf of the MRA, thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. Brilliant.
Cool. I think that went really well. So I'm here with Shan C, who owns the first Miata to come into Sri Lanka, and as we just saw, the video was not flipped, it is a left-hand drive car. So Shan, tell us a bit about your Miata.
So this car was brought in by an employee at the US Embassy.
Okay.
This car is the oldest, it's 17 and it had a couple of owners. But I was always crazy as a kid to have one of these cars. So I was lucky enough that the owner gave it to me at a good price, and now I've done it up a little bit, and yes, we are all here today at the 35th celebration, enjoying ourselves. I think this is the first time all the owners have met each other as
Yes,
well.
I think so. I've never seen a gathering of Miatas as such like this before. I can't remember seeing anything like this. So, landmark event certainly.
Yes, yes. And thank you for covering the event. And it's always good to have your support.
Our pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye. So, welcome everyone. We are here today on this rainy but now okay Sunday morning. We're at the Miata run and we're super excited. The cars are now entering. However, we're with one of the fans and enthusiasts, Janak Mevani. And he's going to tell us about what got him into the Miata craze. So, Janak, if you can tell our viewers what got you into it.
To be very honest, I from my childhood days I was looking for a car which was fun to drive, something which is affordable, something which is iconic, which got my attention basically.
Yes.
So I've been looking around, but these are cars that are not very easy to find in Sri Lanka.
Correct.
So I was fortunate enough that I had a very close friend of mine, a pilot friend, who suddenly said, "Machang, I have migraine."
Oh, wow.
And then he said, so I said, yeah, hold your horses.
Okay.
Why don't you, consider giving me the car?
Yes.
So he said, yeah, why not? I'm really taken up with giving it to him. Yeah. Of course, when I got the car, I must tell you, although we were running the car on a regular basis, there was quite a lot of exploration work to get it quite standard.
Right.
Yeah, so I got it during COVID time.
Okay.
And so for the last almost 2 years, I'm doing little bits and pieces to get it to what I want.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
So it has a 1600 manual engine in it.
Right.
And in a nutshell, that this rear-wheel drive pleasure that you get is basically like driving a go-kart. It's
Very true.
really
I've heard
interesting.
so. Yes.
Yeah. So, and the pop-up lights always makes it very interesting.
Very true. And it's unmistakably a Miata. And I go for my evening jogs down this particular road in Sri Lanka, and I always see Janak, traveling up and down the road, and it's hard to not notice this superb sports car going down that road. So this is Janak, a first gen.
First gen is called the NA version in 1992. This one. So basically, so when we started off, this was the first generation version that Miata came out with.
Right.
I think there was a video clip, if I'm not mistaken. The Japanese used to call it the poor man's rich car.
Right.
That's how they, I think, started off.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so for my height, I managed to get it. And then once you're in the car, it's a beautiful car to
Brilliant.
drive.
I think it's about how the car makes you feel.
Sure.
And congratulations on your purchase. I know it's been a few years, but in terms of maintenance, Janak, how is it? Is it easy to maintain?
I would say it's extremely cost effective.
Oh.
Parts are freely available. There are a few cosmetic things which I had to import from overseas. But if you have the patience, the people to talk to, getting it is not an issue. And to be honest, I did a little rebuild on the engine recently, and I was blown out with the costing. I think it's so economical.
Wow.
So I know for the next 100,000 kilometers,
Brilliant.
I should be able to run it without too much.
Brilliant. And hopefully in the future, maybe we can review this car as well, Asher.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Okay, then thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I think that is brilliant. Thanks.